What is God really like? Part 8. Hey everybody, my name is Amy Brown and welcome back to Rooted in the Word. And so we're going through a series where we're talking about the characteristics or attributes of God. And today we're talking about how God is omniscient. And so Job 37:15 says, "Do you know how God controls the clouds and makes his lightning flash?" And so God is not just knowledgeable. He is limitless in all of his knowing. He knows everything past, present, and future. He holds perfect knowledge of himself and of us. 1 John 3:20 says, "For whenever our heart condemns us, he is greater than our heart, and he knows everything." And so God knows all things, not because he's learned them, but because he is the origin. He doesn't learn because he doesn't change. A lot of us, we have this insatiable desire for information. This is even more apparent right now with the internet and social media and Google. But this is actually a sign of us coveting God's character. And God, he gave us these mental boundaries on how much information we can take in for a reason. If you actually Google what physical and emotional problems can happen with information overload, you can see why these clear boundaries were made. This is an act of love from God, an act of care from God. And also, if you look up what happens when you stop learning and you stop using your mind, that actually can lead to dementia. And so God created us to learn, but he created us to learn in a healthy manner. And so we see this desire to covet knowledge as far back as Eve. And if the serpent used it on her, you can be sure he's going to use it on us as well. And so we need to be careful that we guard our heart against it. And if you're like me, we were taught at an early age that knowledge is power. But at the same time, I'm sure all of you recently have realized that the more time you spend watching the news and gathering information, we can become more and more overwhelmed, leading to anxiety and fear. And that's not God's plan for any of us. That's not what God wants for you. That's why Proverbs 3:5 says, "Trust the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding." And so this dependence on God, the renewing of our mind by keeping our eyes fixed on him, leads us to perfect peace. And oftentimes, we want to know what the future holds because the unknown, it often causes anxiety. But knowing about it just leads us to have more self-reliance and less dependence on God. 1 Peter 5:7 teaches us that we should cast all of our cares, all of our worries, all of our fears, all of our anxieties on God because he cares about us. He loves us and he wants us to depend on him so that we can lead our life, so that he can lead our life to the abundant life that he has planned for us. I know it's incredibly hard not only to learn to trust God with our present, but our future, our children's future, our loved ones' future. But worry has never added a second of the day to anybody or helped anything. But relying and trusting God instead of worrying, that will give you peace and that will give you joy in the situation that God already is in control of. I hope you all have a blessed week. Thank you so much for listening and take care.